I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome to 4 League of Women Voter of Port Washington Forums. Good evening and welcome to 4 League of Women Voters of Port Washington-Manhasset Forums for the town of North Hempstead and Nassau County. My name is Regina Goutevenier and I am the president of the League of Women Voters of Port Washington and Manhasset. As you know, our local league, the New York State League and the National League are all nonpartisan. We do not support or oppose any political party or candidate. Our mission is to engage you, the voters, by giving all candidates for a given office a public space to answer your questions in a structured way while maintaining civil discourse. Before we begin, I want to thank all members of our league who have teamed up to make these forums happen. Most important to our league is Judy Temkin-Jacobson, Chair of Voter Services. She works tirelessly to ensure the needs of candidates and the public are met. Tonight, Judy will serve as our moderator, as our timer. Many of you have submitted questions to the advertised bit.lys, which will remain open through the forums. If you have not submitted a question, you may do so now. Our experienced vetters are Jessica Weaver and Pat McCormick. As in-person forums, they will select questions to forward to our moderator as the forums progress. Our technical advisors are Judy Estequist and Joe Maisel. We describe our mission as making democracy work. This includes our voter services work, letting candidates speak directly to voters on issues that matter through forums like this, and through a variety of publications. We register voters at community events. And it also includes educating voters and advocating with legislators on issues involving voting and elections, but also on redistricting, natural resources, and healthcare. We only take positions on issues after studying them extensively. We hope you will consider joining the league, which you can do so on our website, LWV of PWM. Remember, the League of Women Voters is not for women only. Before I introduce our moderator, I'd like to share a few minutes of information about voting and the kinds of information available on our website. You can search for it by using LWV of PWM. Tonight's forums are, there are 4 forums for the Clerk, the Council District 5, County Legislative District 11, and the Supervisor of the Town of North Hempstead. All are live streamed on LWV of PWM YouTube channel. Recordings will be available within 24 hours. There are several ways to vote in the fall of 2020. General Election Day, which is November 2nd, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at your assigned polling place. You can do early voting from October 23rd to the 31st. We have 15 early voting sites in Nassau County, and you can vote at any site. Also, there are many options on an absentee ballot. Who are eligible to vote? Be a U.S. citizen. Be 18 years old by the date of the election, and many 16-year-olds these days are opting to pre-register. If you do pre-register, you vote to eligible on your 18th birthday. You have to live at your address at least 30 days prior to the election, not be in prison for a felony conviction, not be a judge mentally incompetent, and not claim to vote elsewhere and be registered to vote. Do you need identification? First-time voters are asked for identification, a driver's license, a lease, or utility bill. Are you registered? Check your registration status at the League of Women Voters site, vote411.org/new-York. And you'll want to do that if you've moved or changed names and tried to update your registration. Where do I vote? You can, the League of Women Voters website, PWM, has all kinds of voting guides, including where to vote. Also, Nassau County sends out a postcard before Election Day, and I treat it like gold. I put it by the kitchen telephone so that I'm sure I go to the right place, because they've changed it a couple of times. You can also call the Nassau County Board of Elections, or you can visit 411.org. Where are the early voting sites? We have an interactive map with 15 early voting site locations. It provides a lot of information. You just have to click on the green button on the map, and it will tell you their hours, which differ from site to site, as well as a lot of other information. How do I request an absentee ballot? Well, online, there are fillable forms, but you do have to sign it and either mail it or hand deliver it to the Board of Education, Board of Elections site. You can check your registration status at 411.org. And also you can find out if you've moved or changed names if you're still registered. As I said, voter guides, what else is on the ballot is the next slide. We have 5 ballot proposals. You'll need to vote yes or no, and we provide a voter guide on our website, and we also provide an excellent video provided by the League of Women Voters of New York State, and you can press on it and find out the pros and cons of each position. How do I, what else is on the ballot? We have 5 ballot proposals. On one side are candidates, the other side are the 5 ballot proposals, and out of the 5, the 3 that we are in favor of is the second proposal, the right to clean air, the third and the fourth. The first and the fifth, we have a different position. We're opposed to ballot proposal number 1, amending the apportionment and redistricting process. To see the pros and cons of that, please watch our video on our website. The League of Women Voters takes no position on ballot proposal number 5 because we haven't studied it, and it pertains primarily, it remains only to New York City. What else? What are important dates to remember? October 8th, of course, is the last day to postmark your voter registration form. So please get that in, and you can see the other dates listed here, the 18th, the 23rd. November 1st is a key date to apply in person for an absentee ballot, and November 2nd is the last day to deliver your absentee ballot in person to the Board of Elections. So what else is on the, what are the remaining? I'm sorry, I'm at the end. As said before, you can find out more information on our website. Join the League to engage and educate voters, educate and advocate for legislation, help make democracy work. Now I will turn it over to our moderator for this evening. I'd like to introduce Nancy Rosenthal. She's the Vice President of the League of Women Voters of New York State. She's Chair of Voter Services for the state, longtime President of the Nassau County League, and an experienced moderator. Nancy, I'll let you take it from here.
My name is Nancy Rosenthal, and I do not vote in any of the districts represented by the candidates in the 4 forums tonight. I want to emphasize that the League does not support or oppose any parties or candidates. Our timer tonight will be Judy Jacobson, Chair of our Voter Service for the Port Washington-Manhasset League. Would you please turn on your camera, Judy? Thank you. Our candidates for the Town of North Hempstead Town Clerk are Ms. Russell and Ms. Srivastava. Would you please turn on your cameras? I will begin tonight by reading the rules which all candidates in all 4 forums tonight have agreed to. The moderator will be a member of the League of Women Voters from outside the district. Candidates' opening statements will be given in alphabetical order. The same order will be for opening and closing statements. Each candidate will be allowed 3 minutes for an opening statement. After all candidates have spoken, the moderator will open the meeting with questions from the audience, which are coming through by the online form. They've been submitted electronically, and that can be done before and during the forum. The moderator will be the arbitrator of whether questions are appropriate, repetitive, or abusive. Each candidate will be given 1.5 minutes to answer each question. At my discretion, the time may be reduced as long as it is the same for everyone. There will be no rebuttal. Questions may be addressed to a specific candidate or to candidates in general, although all candidates will be given an opportunity to answer any question. The moderator will attempt to rotate the order of responses to each question. A league member, Judy Jacobson, Timken Jacobson, excuse me, Judy, will act as timekeeper. 1.5 minutes from the end of any given time period, the timekeeper will warn the speaker by a prearranged signal, as you can see there. When the time is up, the speaker will be allowed to finish the sentence. Repeatedly speaking past the deadline may result in the candidate being muted. Candidates will have 2 minutes for a closing statement. There will be no display of campaign literature, props, or charts. In accordance with league policy, audio or video recording by authorized members of the media will be permitted only if the candidates present have agreed. The league maintains the right to record the forum and publish it on an LWV-controlled electronic page. No other recording will be allowed. No partial transcript or recording may be published without written permission from the league. So, Ms. Russell, would you like to begin with your opening statement? Please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me this afternoon. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters from Port Washington and Manhasset for orchestrating this candidates forum this evening. My name is Viviana Russell, and I was born and raised in East Elmhurst of 3 children, and I also have 2 grandchildren. I am a graduate of the College of New Rochelle. I have a Bachelor's of Arts degree in social science. I'm also a para-chaplain, as well as a real estate salesperson, notary public, and a deaconess in my church. In 2009, I was elected to the Town of North Hempstead Town Board as the first African-American woman ever elected to the town board in North Hempstead. During my tenure at the Town of North Hempstead, I have worked previously on things such as affordable housing, senior and workforce housing, as well as individual affordable home buying programs for individuals within the Westbury, Newcastle, and Carl Place community. I've also had experience working with every level of government. I currently am working on environmental justice issues within the Town of North Hempstead. Most recently, I passed legislation allocating performance standards throughout the industrial areas in Newcastle, Westbury, and all of the industrial areas. These performance standards are put in place to ensure that the businesses that are abutting residential communities do not proliferate our communities with things such as dust and odor. In addition, I've worked on things such as redevelopment and revitalization of our downtowns. In Carl Place, there are 2 new hotels during my tenure, as well as some senior housing. And in the Westbury Newcastle area, there has been revitalization of the entire downtown Prospect Avenue. My experience over the past 12 years in the town office um, makes me a fit candidate for the town clerk's position. Prior to working as a councilwoman, I've had experience in government, working in the town of North Hempstead 311 call center from its inception. And the 311 call center is the one call into town hall where you can be connected to every department. And so working there from its inception, I had to learn the ins and outs of every single department of the town of North Hempstead. In addition, I've also worked in Assemblyman Charles Levine's office, where I've gained governmental experience working on state levels. And the reason why that's relevant, because in the role of the clerk, you also have to work with every level of government. The federal government, we work with them with regards to passports. State, we are guided by their guidelines for things such as marriage licenses, death certificates, as well as birth certificates, certain licenses and permits like fishing and hunting. And then we also deal with the Nassau County.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. I'm not sure if you can see can you see the stop sign? It might be difficult for you. Yeah, okay. Ms. Srivastava, please, your opening statement.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much. I thank League of Women Voters for giving me this opportunity so I can come and talk to you all, share my thoughts. Thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Ragini Srivastava. I'm running for town clerk, town of North Hempstead. Who am I? I am a business entrepreneur who came to this country with nothing but just a dream and desire to build a life to be proud of. And I am someone who believes in hard work, who believes in cost efficiency, who believes in strategic planning, who believes in accountability, and who believes in holding people accountable for the job they are doing, who believes in our law enforcement because safety of our residents is a priority, who believes in active participation of our residents in the local government decision-making processes. Above all, who believes in the magic of this beautiful country called United States of America. I'm very, very grateful. And I believe in standing up for what's right for the residents, for the people around me. And I will always be working for our seniors, our children, women, everyone. I will always be standing for our struggling small businesses. Being a small business owner, I know what kind of hardships they are facing. And if we can support them, help them, if our businesses survive, if they shine, our communities thrive. So this is one of the priorities. Second, I will always be standing lower taxes. Why? Because, hey, it's high time. Let's make our town more affordable. And third, I will want or look forward to have improvement in our building department and all the departments, so they are very, very efficient. So there are no delays. Anyway, as town clerk, my responsibility will be providing town services in safe and effective manner. My responsibility will be to see the town operations are first cost effective, second, very efficient, and third, more accessible. That's what I do in my business also. So, these are some of the priorities. And now I would say why I am here. Why I am here? First, I care. Second, I dare to dream. And I dream not just for me, but for the people, for the community who are around me. And then I put my head down and start working continuously towards my goal. And that's what I'm going to do for all of you, for everyone in my constituency. That's what my plan is. So no more backlogs, no more delay in permits, No more wastage of our taxpayers' hard-earned money. I'll make sure that our taxpayers' hard-earned money is utilized at the right place. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, we're going to start the first questions with you. What do you see as the most important duty if elected, and what will be your priorities?
So the most important duty, I would say, of the town clerk's office is to be the records keeper. There are a lot of historical records as well as records of the town board that are kept within the town clerk's office. The town clerk's office is responsible for every record for the town, excluding the building department. The town does not in no way interact with the building department records and or its operations. So my priority would be to continue the work that Town Clerk Wayne Wink has done with onboarding more services. Right now, the clerk's office is the largest registrar in New York State. And I intend to bring on more services. We have the passport services currently there, and I would look to bring on more services that are accessible to every resident, whether they're able to go online and access the services online, come into the office, or bring the services to them. That will be my number one priority, to make sure that the services that we do currently provide and that we can expand upon are accessible to everyone in the town of North Hempstead.
Thank you. Ms. Srivastava?
Yeah, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Nancy. So my first priority will be to make sure that the operations are cost effective. And second, like I said before also, that it has to be efficient. Efficiency is a thing. Look, time is money. If businesses are waiting for their permits or delays, that's not good. So I have to make sure that the town clerk's office is very, very efficient. And third, I will have to increase the accessibility so our services reach out to the people, to the residents. They don't have, look, people are already dealing with a lot of stress. If we can reduce that stress through our services, through our community, through our commitment, that's what I want to approach or achieve. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, the second question will begin with you, Ms. Srivastava. What was the best thing accomplished during the last term of the North Hempstead, excuse me, the North Town of Hempstead?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question?
What was the best accomplishment during the last term in the clerk's office?
The clerk's office. Okay. Thank you. Now I understand. No, I would say that, they are good regarding their services, and they are, a little bit contactless and all those kinds. Good, but I'll be excellent. And I can assure you. But the best thing is that they kept on providing, the services to the people. But I have to see, what is the best. But I'll be better. Thank you.
Ms. Russell?
I would say over the past 4 years, the best things that have come into the clerk's office is passports, allowing people to come in and apply for their passports in your town clerk's office, and then taking on the role as a registrar for Mineola. Mineola hosts one of the larger hospitals here on Long Island, which is Winthrop Hospital. And by doing so, because the clerk's office has already been the registrar for 21 villages out of 31 in North Hempstead, and one of the largest in New York State, taking on the role as registrar for the village of Mineola has now not only increased the capacity for Mineola to do more effective work outside of registrar, but it also provided a savings to the village of Mineola. So I would say that was one of the best things that the clerk's office has done in the past 4 years. In the town of North Hempstead, I can tell you that the clerk's office is one of the most efficient and effective offices. There's no wait times for permits. They are very efficient with regards to scheduling weddings, getting death certificates out, and getting birth certificates out.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, you have this question. What is the first thing you would like to implement if elected?
I'm sorry, for me, Ms. Russell, did you say Russell?
Yes.
Okay. One of the first things that I would implement, as I mentioned before, is accessibility. Right now, there are a lot of things that are online, but there are more that can be put online. So I would look to add more services online to save people time from having to come into the office, and then bring those services to where they are. You know, sometimes people are a little hesitant to deal with government. So I would bring government to them where they are at in a trusted environment. So whether it's at churches, at their senior center, I would bring the services to them. In addition, I would look to bring on other programs such as the Trusted Travelers Program.
I think we just, there. Your mic's off, Ms. Russell.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure if you caught the last part of what I was saying.
No, could you please repeat?
Okay. So I would look to bring on additional services into the clerk's office, such as the Trusted Travelers Program. We already have the passport program, and so another program that is a companion to that would be the Trusted Travelers Program. And then another program I would like to bring in is also Easy Pass services. Right now, the closest Easy Pass office is in College Point, which is in Queens. So that's another service that I'd love to bring on board.
Thank you. Ms. Srivastava?
Yeah, so I would like to encourage contactless services, stickerless, paperless services. That'll be great. Second, I'll be reorganizing hours. That means a little extended hours for our working families who cannot, to make it more accessible. Periodically over the weekend, if we have more hours, it will be better and easier for our working families. Third, accessibility. I would like to bring the services, town services, to the people's doorstep. And I would like to, if possible, looking at the analysis and everything, I would like to introduce the mobile unit. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is yours, Ms. Srivastava. What benefit will your prior experience bring to the office?
So, like I said earlier, I am a business entrepreneur, and I will bring my business expertise in the town clerk's office. Because, hey, I learned this, how to survive, especially during the COVID. I know how to make it cost efficient, all the operations cost effective, how to be more productive, how to be efficient, because efficiency is something that we need to achieve everywhere, and how to be more accessible, how to keep our people happy. That is what I learned in my business, because I have been running and operating, and that's what I bring in the town clerk's office. Second, I have always been involved in the community, because of the community, I was able to achieve something or reach somewhere. So I'm very, very grateful. And from the very beginning, I was volunteering for different causes. And thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
You have more time. You have more time.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I thought it stopped. So yeah, so because I was always involved in the community, and I always acted as a bridge in the community for different women and individually, whatever for domestic violence and all those kind of people, I was helping them. So this is, look, serving the community, serving the people, and be very efficient, be productive. Thank you.
Ms. Russell?
I'm sorry, could you just repeat the question?
Sure. What benefit will your prior experience bring to the office?
So as I mentioned before, I have 16 years of experience with government, 12 years in elected office. I'm very familiar with the clerk's office, its roles, its responsibilities, the departments that it interacts with, everyone except for the building department. So I have institutional knowledge that would be hard for anyone just coming in the door, which I think is very helpful, because as you come into the office, there are things that you need to be able to do right away, like oaths of office, including my own. As you come in, when you come in January, you need to know how the office functions, because you're responsible for the oaths of office for all of the newly elected officials. My interactions with all levels of government, I mentioned before, I've had interactions with the federal government, state government, county government, as well as villages, all of the villages. I've interacted with a lot of the different villages. So having a know-how to interact with them, understanding the role of the clerk's office, understanding how death certificates are done, understanding how birth certificates are done, understanding how marriages are done. As a council person, we are also marriage officers. So I have experience with marriage licenses, as well as actually performing weddings. Also, my experience in town government with the town board meetings. One of the major roles of the town clerk is to be the facilitator of the town board meetings. Having been on the town board for the past 12 years, I've had a bird's eye view of how the clerk's office works.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. Ms. Russell, you have the next question. What, if any, updates would you make to the office of the town clerk?
As I mentioned, I would, in addition to the things that are already online, I would add more of the services online. For instance, some of our applications that are currently not online, I would bring those online, as well as bring the services to the people. I mentioned trusted environments like churches or senior groups, even to maybe some of the universities. We have at least one within the town of North Hempstead. So bringing the services to the people, as well as making it more accessible online. I mentioned before that the clerk's office is one of the most efficient offices in the town of North Hempstead, and so I would just work to enhance that.
Thank you. Ms. Srivastava?
Yeah. So I would like to implement one thing that I do in my business also, and that is called cross-training of employees. So there are employees who are good in one, but they can take care of the job in some other division also. If we can cross-train them, this will do two things. First, if let's say any employee is out because of any reason, sick or vacation or whatnot, so there is someone to back up, and that will save our cost also. One thing. Second, like I said, I will reorganize the hours, because accessibility to the working families who are working 9 to 5, it's better if we have little more extended hours or extra hours over the weekend. Third, of course, like Mr. Russell also said, online, more use of technology, more consumer friendly, and reaching out to everyone, to their area, to their doorsteps, so there is less hassle for our residents for any kind of town clerk service. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Srivastava, how do you propose to pay for additional infrastructure?
For additional infrastructure? Okay. So you know what? Yeah, like I always say, because I have this business experience, we have to focus on our revenue generation. We have to. There is no other way. And for that, we have to support our small businesses. We have to attract other businesses to provide job to the people. And we have to cut our wastage, save money to pay for that. And we have to make sure that all, for all kind of essential services also, we have enough money. But revenue generation is the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes. How do you propose to pay for additional infrastructure?
So the town of North Hempstead currently has a AAA bond rating, which gives them the ability to borrow at a lesser rate. One other good things about the town of North Hempstead, we've been very, very successful in applying for grants. I've worked very closely with our grants coordinator, and I would continue to do so, to apply for grant funding for infrastructure improvements. During my tenure in office, I've worked with every level of government. Right now, I'm working on an $800,000 grant from the federal government for Brownfields Opportunity Area investment, which is an investment in our actual physical infrastructure like roadways and development. But those type of grants are accessible for other things. And so in the clerk's office, I would work with our grants coordinator so that this way we can put downward pressure on the taxes that our residents pay. The clerk's office, although we do generate revenue, most of that revenue that is generated is regulated by either a state agency or federal agency. And so there are not many revenue sources that the town itself regulates. And so I would work more towards getting grants to offset the cost of infrastructure changes.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, this question is for you. How many town board meetings have you attended and what have you learned from them?
So it's hard to count how many that I've attended because I've been in office for 12 years and we have board meetings approximately every 3 weeks, except for when we're in budget season, like we're in now. Sometimes we have a meeting once a week for a period of 3 weeks. So just doing the math, I think it's just too many I would say hundreds. I've attended hundreds of town board meetings. And what was the other part of the question? What have I learned from those meetings?
Correct.
What I've learned from the meetings that I've attended and have been on the dais for is that listening is key. Listening to a constituents. In the role of a council member, you have to make decisions on our policies, on our codes. And sometimes you may have an issue that is very confrontational or opposing sides. So listening is key. As the clerk, your role in a town board meeting would be to facilitate, to make sure that people are not going over time, to make sure that every word of the board meeting is recorded, making sure people speak clearly, making sure that our stenographer is able to make out what people are saying, making sure people are using proper diction, making sure that our town attorney's office is being included in parts of conversations where it's necessary. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot over the years. The role of the town clerk, a lot of people think it's...
Thank you, Ms. Russell. Thank you. Ms. Srivastava?
I can't see the stop.
I understand. So excuse me, but for just keeping the time.
Not a problem.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So I have attended a lot and, through Zoom, online, like I said earlier in my opening statement, I believe in active participation of our residents in government decision-making process. And you know what, this attending town hall meetings and all, I encourage everyone to attend it, to understand the concerns of the local people. What are they talking about? What is good for the people? What is not that good for the people? What should be the approach and everything? And that is why it's not just that we should attend, it's a responsibility to attend town hall meetings. I encourage our people and my people. And that is what I gained out of it, that I have this clarity. When I listen to everyone in town hall hearings, I have this clarity. Where is it going? Where should I stand? What is good for the people? And, that's what I would say that everybody should do. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Srivastava, what more can the town of North Hempstead do to improve diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay. So look, I believe that the public office it's all about the love and commitment that you have for the people and just being there for them. I would say, I have seen during COVID, I have seen this pandemic, it was hard and for everyone, but I have seen that sense of togetherness. Everyone, I have seen people try to help each other, to being there, irrespective of whatever, the caste, race, color. People were there, they were concerned, the neighbors, everyone. Somebody called me, do you have food or something, you need help? I need one person who bought some groceries. for the children, and he was all like covered and it was tough, it was tough in the middle of the pandemic, and he was taking those groceries to his house. And then he got to know that there's a neighbor and they have little children and elderly parents, and he dropped those groceries to their place. Look, so I have seen that, and I was so touched. So we have to encourage the social community. I cannot emphasize enough. Let's bring everyone together. Let's have more education to the different people for the awareness, and it's going good. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
So I think that the town is doing an excellent job with regards to diversity and inclusion. We've passed legislation to include domestic partnerships. We've included in our policies where those that have domestic partners are eligible for insurance. We celebrate all holidays, whether they're religious or cultural. I mentioned this evening, we have Hispanic Heritage Night that we're celebrating, that I'm hosting this evening here at the Yes We Can Community Center. We have Asian Fest. We work with the Indian community. We work with every community. The town of North Hempstead is a mosaic of diversity. And so we ensure that we are inclusive of everyone's religion, everyone's culture, everyone's race. And if there's something that we have missed, if someone brings it to our attention, we will make sure that it's included. Just recently, this past June, at Town Hall, we raised the LGBTQ flag in front of Town Hall, and we also lit the Town Hall with the colors, just to bring awareness to the fact that we have many people within our community that are of the LGBT community. So I think that the town of North Hempstead is already doing a wonderful job of being inclusive and ensuring equity within the town of North Hempstead.
Thank you. You hit that with the stop sign just coming up, Ms. Russell. Yeah, I think you could see it. We will now go to closing statements, and we will begin with Ms. Russell.
So again, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for Port Washington and Manhasset for hosting this candidates forum. I think it's important that our residents get to know the candidates, what they stand for, and not only their beliefs, but their knowledge of the role that they're running for. I mentioned before that I've been in town government for the past 16 years, 12 years in elected office, and 4 years prior to that working in various departments as well as areas. I have a proven record of success in the town of North Hempstead. I have a proven record of working successfully with the federal, state, county, and villages in the town of North Hempstead, which is a major part of the role of the town clerk. I have experience knowing the responsibilities of the office, the things that the office does work on and the things that it does not. I believe that the residents in North Hempstead should vote for someone that knows the role of the clerk's office, that has experience working in government, and understands how important of a role the town clerk's office plays in the livelihood of our residents. The town clerk's office affects people during the most important parts of their life, whether it is the birth of a child, the death of a loved one, or when they are getting married. Those are the three most important milestones in someone's life. And the clerk's office interacts with individuals on all three of those occasions. So I think it's very important that someone in the office, in that role, understands the importance and the sensitivity of all three of those events. And I am that person. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. Ms. Srivastava, please, your closing statement.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. And I would say again, public service is all about the love and commitment you have for the community and just being there for them. And I will be there for them. One thing I would like to emphasize on, that, being there in the job for years is good, but we have to see what kind of commitment that candidate is bringing. And second, they have to have the fiscal responsibility. We have to see in the past if there are any financial mismanagement, because hey, it's our taxpayers hard earned money. We cannot afford to waste the money. So we have to make sure that our taxpayers hard earned money is being utilized where it is needed. It is not misused, it is used. It is very, very important. So look at the candidate. Look at the candidate who cares for you and who cares for your hard-earned money. And I will be there for you. I will make sure that town clerk's office services are delivered to the residents in most effective and safe manner. And I thank you all, and I request you all to give me an opportunity to serve you, because service, this town clerk's office is all about service. And I am here to serve you. I would request you all to give me an opportunity to serve you and give back to the community that has given me so much. So let's all come together, work together, and make it, this place, this town, a best place to live for. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, candidates. The public and the league appreciates your willingness to answer questions from voters thoughtfully and candidly and in civil discourse with your challenger. This is democracy at its best. The candidates are now muted. If you'd like to wave goodbye to the cameras, please do before we turn the cameras off. Thank you, viewers. Taking your time to learn about the candidates who seek to represent you is what democracy is all about. A recording of this forum and the other forums tonight will be available on the LWV of Port Washington-Manhasset YouTube channel within 24 hours. The next forum tonight will start at 7:05 and will focus on the Town of North Hempstead Council District Number 5 candidates. To view it, you will need to exit this event on YouTube and return to the LWV of PWM YouTube channel, where the next forum will begin live streaming as a new event in a few moments. Please join us for the next 3 forums on this channel. This forum is now ended.